Hey guys, today we're changing the trigger of V10 and V11. As you can see, this is all the trigger I've been changed. They're all broken because the crappy design Dyson have. As you can see, I put a comparison here. That's normally where it breaks. And this is the strong trigger. We're selling a Dyson Revive. And you can do a close comparison, the size difference. So then this will be much stronger. Once you change it, you will never break again. Okay, so since I've done so much, so I think I have the best method on the internet. A lot of people, they've done it once, they make a video, but it's actually misguiding you. And today, I'm just gonna do a really efficient tutorial on how to change it yourself. You can get it done, depends on how quick you work. You can do it within half an hour and it will be a fun experience. Okay, the tool for today's job, this is the very basic tools we need for today. If you have something like that, electric tools will make life so much easier, but it's not necessary. So you need a Phillips screwdriver, small, skinny long to take out the cyclones. And then you need a Torx 8 for all the Dyson Torx screws. And then you need a cable tie or maybe a piece of string. I'll demonstrate what this use later. And then a prior, which if you don't have this, then it's gonna be a little bit difficult, but you know, this will come in handy. All right, without further ado, now let's get to work. And today we're working on this V11 and the trigger is clear broken. As you can see, there's no bounce back, but you press the button here, it lights up. So generally that means trigger is broken. Okay, so the first step, let's take out the cyclone. So press here to unlock, push out until it opens, and there's a click here. Press that, unload the dustbin out. And second, we're starting to take out the screws. Okay, so there's one Phillips here, two on the bottom, and one in here, one in there, and then take out the filter, and there's a 1, 2, 3, 4. So total is 4 plus 2 plus 3. Okay, I just did the math. So total 9 screws. Okay, let's get to work. All right, as you can see, I already done the battery. So first thing you do the battery. 1 here, 2 in the bottom, and drop the battery, put on the side. And then we're starting to unscrew this. All right, so this 2, let's move it out. All right, after that 2 out of the way, let's work on these 4 screws. So you need to be careful to really feel the bite of the screw before you turn. Otherwise, you could really unthread the screws, and then that will be a big problem. If you're having issue to turn it, you can use a WD-40 to put some in there to help loosen up the screw. Just be careful with this. So let's try to get them out. All right, so yeah, they'll be out like that. And so that's this one. All right, with some editing power, so I've done all 4 screws. So that all 4 screws are all taken out. And now it's time to drop the cyclone. Okay, just wiggle a little bit. You will feel it get loose, and just try not to pull too hard. Okay, and now, boom, the cyclone comes off. Let's put on the side. Okay, now let's work on the motors. So what you need to do next is take out these 2 screws with the Torx 8 screwdriver. Okay, almost done. Just to remind you, always putting the screws separately because they're all different and in the same order as you taking them off. So when the job is done, when you do the reverse, you know which one goes to which. Okay, so this 2 has been dropped. Now let's open up this. The trick to open up this case, the easy way is to grab a flathead. Otherwise, you can really just use a finger to cry over there, but if you don't have a flathead screwdriver, and just put it in a little bit pressure over here. Give a little turn, like that. It should come right off, okay? Like very easy. If you have a flathead. Otherwise, just use your fingernails. It works the same. And then just push here a little bit, and then this case opens. And now we're looking at the inside. This is the motherboard of the motor. And so the first thing I do is take out this, use your fingernails, just give a little flick. And then it should come off like that. And now, grab your Torx 8 again, take out these 2 screws. Okay, now this 2 screw has been dropped. Put it next to this. So, you know, like I said, when you reverse, you know what to do. And then just don't have to use too much force. Just give a little bit push. And then just pull it right out, like that. Okay, try not to bend this thing. Just make sure don't bend this thing, because a lot of people in the internet tell you to use a prior to bend this, but you don't need to. Okay, now next is these 2 screws, which is a little bit tricky because the angle of it. And try to go from the top, yeah, and turn. Okay, it should come out quite easily. And put next to that. And then this one is a little bit tricky because you have to go in an angle, but it can be done. Ideally, if you have something longer, it'd be easier. Okay, but it can be done. Ideally, you want something longer. Okay, that's done. And then to able to drop this, the trick is, again, your flathead, go to the back of this, go to the back, give a little pry here. Don't worry if you hear a clip, that's completely normal. You're not broken anything. All right, now it's come off, and now it's a crucial part. Most people get it wrong. Okay, so now try to turn this cable on the sideway like this. Okay, like sideways like that. And then you should just able to pull it right out without wiggle too much of the connectors. All right, boom. Okay, so this thing come right out, put it here, and we're halfway through the job. Now grab your T8 again and go back. There's a screw, if you can see. There's a screw inside there. Yeah, it's really hard to see. Yeah, and the trigger is sort of getting away. So there's a T8 in there. Just putting in a screwdriver in there. It's be great, helpful if you have a torchlight. Okay, all right. With some editing magic, so the screw is out now. And now we have to drop this trigger. Okay, so the trigger, you just have to push from here a little bit. Just push here, and then turn around. Just pry, use the pry here, and just gentle pull, and it's come right out. Okay, that's how the trigger look like. And look where it's broken. Yeah, see, it's completely gone. So let's replace that. All right, now it's time to put on our Dyson Revive strong trigger, which never break. Hope it never breaks. All right, just line up this and that. Okay, and then put it in. Well, you should be feel it moves quite smoothly like that. If it's not, that means you didn't line up properly. Okay. All right, once you've done that, now it's a fun part to put it back in there, which is a little bit difficult. And this is when the cable tie comes in. So we have to run this cable tie through here. This might personally find out this is the easiest way. Maybe there's a better way out there, but you know, as long as you get the job done. And then you have the thread through here. Okay, so once you put the cable tie in, and just try to hide the cable in between this switch cable. Try to be in between, and now thread that cable into that hole, and then try to pull it slowly like that. And yep, okay, now we're in business. So we put it back in, and now just putting the screw in there. But when you do put a screw in there, make sure it's really, really tight, but not overly tighten, because over tighten could damage the poster. But then if you don't tie this properly, you will have issue with the vacuum not able to shut down properly. All right, now after you put it in this, now let's put in the screw. Okay, so you grab the screw. This one should have magnetic, and then just drop in there. But it's really hard to show you guys because of the lighting. But I've put that one in there. That's probably a little bit hard. You may take a few tries, but once you're in, make sure you tied it up properly, like fully tied up, like till you can't turn. But don't over tighten because this post is really fragile, so it could break. But if you find out when you turns, and then the screw is not tightening, that means your screw poster most likely broken. Which will cause a little bit problem with the vacuum won't turn off once you unplug the trigger. But the way to fix it is to buy the whole housing to replace it. That's the only way to do it, which we sell it on our website. But if you just sort of think that's too much hassle, then you just have to push the battery. When you use it, just push the battery up, and then that should able to shut it down. But just a little bit hassle though. And now let's pull back this part, which is the fun part. All right, so same way as it come in, you have to turn this way and go in this way first, not this way, this way. Sort of have to run this one out first. Yeah, this is the part most people struggle with. But if you get the angles right, yeah, like see this, you have to, they both have to tilt on the side, like the same way as they come out, and just keep pushing it a little bit. Okay, let's struggle a little bit there, but now we're getting it. All right, once you're in, push both one in there, both clip, and done. All right, hope I can edit that part out. Okay. Now, remember the screws, right? The two small ones here. Oop. Okay, and then this one. This two screws, you don't really need to worry too much if you don't tighten it up perfectly, because it will be difficult with the tool because it's not long enough, but should still do the job. Okay, now we're done. So, all right, now this part's complete. So two screwed in, and this two comes out with the able to put this one out. Okay, so now we have to put back the motor. Okay, this is another funny part. So it's a little bit tricky. You may take some time to complete, but completely fine. Okay, so the key is to put these two in front of this green motherboard. So you can do a little bit push from the back, like so. Okay, here we go. So that was easy. But if you're having trouble with that, just try to play around with it a little bit from the back. You should be able to get it. Otherwise, you may have to bang this part a little bit flat for you to thread it through. But it take some patience. Okay, now done. And now we'll have to put it in these two screws here, these two. Okay. Just line it up and turn. And make sure there's enough gap in between. You don't want this to touch each other because that will creating a short. Still a bit close. Let's push back a little bit. And now, yeah, that's one side down. And then the other side. All right, that's easy. No problem at all. So once this is finished, okay, and then you put this part. This part back in here. Just make sure it lines up. You should feel a clip. Yeah, like that. See here, a clip, and that's in. And now it's time to test the motor because we got the trigger fixed. Okay, just push it in. like so. And filter is not put it in. Okay, put a filter in. Wow, voila! You got your vacuum back. Okay, now it's time to finishing the job. We're really happy with that. Okay, let's take out the battery. Just that's for safety precautions. And then next step, that's putting the cap on. Okay, line up all this white cap. And then just pull this one out till you hear a clip. Yeah, okay, that should be fine. And now the two screws here. Yeah, for demonstration purposes, I'm just gonna use an electric tool, so it makes my life so much easier. And you can continue using the same Torx 8. All right, that's done. Okay, now it's time to put it back that cyclone. Just this is another part. You see there's two connectors there inside, and these two need to line up with this. So your shoe goes in really smoothly. If you feel any kind of resistance, that means you are not lining up properly. So what happens is once you put back the cyclone, the motor head won't spin because the connector is bent. Okay, so make sure you line. You will feel like really smooth when it goes in. Otherwise, there's something is wrong. Yeah, like that. Yeah, easy. Okay, so now we just have to put it back. All the screws here, put it back into 4 of that, 2 of these, and then 1 here, 2 there, and then job is complete. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and if you have any questions, welcome to contact us or leave your comments below. I'll see you soon on the next repair video.